Do I look fucked up?
You look f***ing amazing. All right.
The Super Bowl is tomorrow, and we wanted something awesome to make for breakfast. So we're practicing today on this concoction. It's a take on Malcolm Reed's Football Explosion, but we're doing a breakfast version, and we're calling it the Breakfast Bomb. So you can see we've got this really nice thick cut bacon here, about 16 or 17 strips of bacon. I'm gonna start laying it out here, and we're making a bacon weave. So for anyone that doesn't know what a bacon weave is, it's exactly what it sounds like. We're just weaving this bacon together and we're making a netting to go around our breakfast explosion. I'm gonna start with 7 strips this way, going across, and I'm using some wax paper. Parchment paper works really well for this. I didn't have any parchment paper, so we're using wax paper, and that's gonna help us when we have to use this and manipulate it. Okay, so we have 7 strips laid out here. And now what we're going to want to do is start to interweave this. So we want to take this, and every other one, we're just going to put it right under. Just like that. Okay? Now anywhere that we didn't have it on top, we're going to fold this piece of bacon back. Just like that. And we're going to come in with another piece. Make sure that these are pretty tight up against that other piece. Then we lay this one across, bring the bacon back. And we're going to keep alternating sides with this until we're all the way across the weave. Just like that. And same process. And we're going to continue this process all the way across until we have a nice weave. Now you can see we have this awesome bacon weave. We're going to set this aside for right now. Now I got this amazing sausage from our local butcher, Schott's Meat Market down in Helotes, Texas. It's awesome pan sausage. You can use Jimmy Dean's or one of those ones in the little tube packages, but we love the taste of this sausage. It's not too spicy. They do make an amazing chorizo as well, so if you're in the area, I highly suggest picking that up.
What if you're in the area?
Yeah, the area. That one's for Dad. If you're in the area. Yeah, get this on camera. My struggles.
You don't know what it's like.
So we've got another piece of this wax paper. Should be using parchment paper, but like I said, we didn't have any on hand. Wax paper works just fine for this. So I'm gonna be taking my pan sausage out of the package and putting it on here. We're gonna spread this out into a nice rectangle. 1. Yay. Yay. This sausage smells super good. Super good. Super good. There we go. So we've got both of these laid out, and we're just going to start melding it together in the middle and flattening these out just a bit. You can use a rolling pin if you want to. I'm just going to use my hands and get these pressed out. Most impressive. You want to try and keep it as even as you can. Get them about 1/4 inch thick or so. You can see this turns into a nice little porky meat tray. Can't say that enough. We're going to start adding our other ingredients. That looks good. Good?
You're beyond good, baby.
All right, so now that we have our sausage all laid out like this, we're going to be putting a little bit of rub on it. We've got this Crawford's Alamo dust. It's a pork and poultry rub, but I think with the sugars and salts that are in here, it's going to be awesome just to layer inside here with our eggs. This is going to be an amazing barbecue breakfast. You can see I'm not going stupid crazy with it. Just a little sprinkle dinkle. That looks good. I'm going to let that set for a little bit. Next step is adding the eggs. These are some eggs that my lovely wife made up just a little bit ago. So she just cooked up the eggs with some salt and pepper, and they're nice and loose still, but nice and fluffy. We don't want super runny, but we also didn't want them overdone. We're gonna add in that for now. See how that looks. And you don't want to overstuff this, because then you won't be able to wrap it up. Leave a little bit of room on each side. This is about 8 eggs in here. We had made 12, but then the boy ate some.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, okay. Now that that's all in there, we have a special treat today. When we last went to New Mexico, We got these awesome roasted Hatch Green Chilies, and they're from Hatch. We got them from this little tiny shanty place on the side of the road, huge bags full of them that we put into the trunk of the car and drove it back here to Texas, and our car still smells like green chili to this day. It's amazing. So as you can see, we went ahead and chopped these up, and they've already been roasted and peeled and all that. So we're just gonna take some of this and put it right in here. You gotta be a little careful with these because these do have some spice on them, but the flavor is out of this city.
A little shout out to the 505. Look at all that green goodness. That looks good.
I think it looks good too. Now that we have our green chilies incorporated in here, we're gonna add some cheese. Normally I'd use some Tillamook. This is just some grated cheese. It's Colby Jack, and we're not gonna be putting too much in here, but we want a nice layering in here so that when we cut into it, it's got that ooey gooey goodness. Ooey gooey. Sort of a see-through coverage.
See-through coverage.
All right, that looks perfect. So we're gonna make sure all this is incorporated here, and we're gonna start assembling. So here's the reason for the wax paper. It makes this sausage a lot easier to handle. We're gonna kind of bring in the sides here a little bit. And this is where the parchment paper really comes in handy because it won't stick as much. And we wanna start rolling it up. Come on now. Oh, yay! You want to start forming this into a little football. Bring over the other side.
Parchment paper is on the grocery list, babe.
Yeah. Once we have it to this stage, you want to kind of get this pinched together. Make a loaf of it. That's a term, right? Just make a loaf of it. So I'm just trying to get this closed up so we don't have anything leaking out of the inside. And now, we have this handy dandy rack with our bacon weave on it. So now that we have our bacon weave, we can kind of see we're not quite wide enough to contain the whole thing. So I'm just gonna squeeze it in a little bit and make it fit. Take this, we're gonna put it right in the middle. Just like that. Now shape it up into a football because of the Super Bowl. Looks like we got a little air pocket in there. Get that out of there. Try and get some of the sides in on that bacon. It's a nice little fatty, huh?
Yeah, little flavor bomb.
Little flavor bomb.
This is like a keto person's dream too, right?
This one is, yeah. This recipe is definitely
So if you're
a
a
keto thing.
keto person.
I'm gonna put just a touch of Crawford's Alamo dust right here on the top of this. And then we're gonna wrap it over. And you'll see exactly what happens here when we get this over onto the rack. And you just want to dress it up a little bit, get all the sides tucked in, keep that shape going. And as you'll notice now, that seam is back on the top. So we'll keep shaping, getting it around there, plump it out. All right, we're ready for the final step. Let me wash my hands.
Looks amazing.
So we're gonna be cooking it right on this rack. The last step that I wanna do before we take it out to the smoker, I have my kamado grill fired up to about 300 degrees, and we're just gonna be adding this honey hog barbecue from Meat Church on here. This is gonna candy up all this bacon. I love this rub. Super good. You can use any rub at all though. I tend to lean towards the sweeter rub on the bacon. This is hickory smoked thick cut bacon. Just because the bacon's so salty, I add the sweetness to it on the outside. That Alamo dust that I added in the middle does have some sugariness, but it's a little bit saltier than the honey hog. How's that side looking? Pretty good?
You just got the rest of it. Good. Looks amazing.
So we're gonna go put this on the 300-degree pit, and we're gonna start monitoring the temperatures. The internals, they're already cooked. I'm not too worried about it, but I wanna make sure that this bacon and the sausage is cooked through. The internal will be about 165 to 175 when it's done, but we wanna make sure that that sausage is cooked all the way through. Whatever sausage you're cooking, it's typically 165 to 175 as well. So let's get this thing out on the smoke. I'm running hickory smoke out on the kamado grill today, and we're gonna go get it in there. All right, obviously you can see we're running just over 300 degrees, but that's perfect because when we put this in, it's gonna drop down and then bring it back up. So we're gonna be getting this football explosion onto our kamado that has the place setter in, the heat deflector. We're gonna be putting it right right there. Close it down. And we're just gonna start monitoring this. I'll come back out in about an hour and put a heat probe into it so that we can see where our temperatures are at. All right, so we're starting to get up to temp here. We wanna take a look. We got a little leakage, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna be checking the internal temps here. You can see we're getting up into that 160 range. You really wanna take the temp of the bacon and the sausage, make sure that's up over 165. Perfect. So I'm just doing that first layer, and then I'm sinking down in to check the internal temps, even though those are already cooked. All right, let's get some glaze on here. I have a 2-to-1 ratio of Killer Hog's The Barbecue sauce and Heath Ryle's tangy vinegar sauce on here. And I'm just gonna be putting it over the top, finishing this off. It's only gonna go a few more minutes. Then we're gonna rest this and eat breakfast. This ThermalWorks brush is awesome. It really takes in the sauce and drizzles it on there nice. You can hear all that sizzling. All right, that looks perfect. We're gonna let this go probably another 5 to 10 minutes and it'll be done. We just took this thing off the grill. We let it rest for about 15 to 20 minutes and we can't wait anymore. We're starving. We're actually eating this one for lunch today. We're a little late for that even. So I'm gonna take this off my rack here. Be really careful releasing it. You can see I already mopped up some of the juices. The smell that's coming off of this thing is phenomenal. It smells awesome, like breakfast barbecue combined. So super good. All right, let's check this thing out. I'm gonna cut these into about 1-inch slices here. As you can see, I'm keeping it together just to hold the integrity of the loaf. You wanna use a nice sharp knife so that it goes right through there and it doesn't crush down. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Oh boy. So we brought this up to the internal temperature of about 165 to 175. We wanted to make sure that everything in here was done. As you can see, it did a great job. That Kamado grill, that Grill of Grills Kong, did a fantastic job. The bacon, delicious. It's perfectly done and crisp on the outside. Still got some texture to it. The sausage is completely cooked through and through, and it's juicy and has that great, delicious flavor. And then all the mixture that we put inside with the eggs, the cheese, and that green chili have all been incorporated in here. There's only one last thing to do, and that's take a bite. And I think I'm gonna take it out of this little fella right here. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this one. Let's do this, get it all. Get some green chili in there, some of that bacon. Nope, I'm putting the bacon right on top there. All right, let's bring it to the head. Oh man. The green chili in there sets it off. Absolutely delicious. This can be eaten at any time of day, but this is the ultimate breakfast food. I highly suggest you try this one out. This is super good. This is gonna be perfect for Super Bowl Sunday breakfast. It's a perfect combination of breakfast and barbecue, just the way that we like it. Definitely give this one a try. You won't be disappointed. This is awesome. Hit subscribe if you wanna see more videos like this. We really appreciate everyone that's been watching. Take it easy and try it out.